Hello everyone, so this is going to be our second episode, Road to the Tent, and today it's still going to be cake week. We're going to do several cakes, and we're going to do a chiffon cake. So what I learned is chiffon cake is basically like angel food cake, except you're also using the yolks. They're really light and fluffy. They're not good if you need to do like a stackable type of cake because they're too light and they will collapse, and you definitely don't want that to happen. So today we're gonna just do a traditional vanilla chiffon cake with a blueberry compote, a blueberry thyme compote, and then a blueberry whipped cream kind of frosting to put on top. So let's get started. Okay, in here I have 400 grams of blueberries, which was basically almost this whole pack of Kroger frozen blueberries. I'm gonna turn this on. I'm gonna try to get this a little bit closer so you guys can see a little bit better. So to this, I'm gonna add 50 grams of sugar. 50 grams is normally, I think, about a fourth of a cup. So that's what I'm gonna use is this, and see if I can get it to 50. 50 grams. I'm also gonna do 50 grams of water. And like I said, that's basically a fourth of a cup. And then last but not least, I'm gonna put some fresh thyme in here. I'm gonna be pretty generous with it because I want us to be able to taste it. And since I'm using fresh thyme, you know, the flavor is a little bit milder than if you use dried. So just taking these off. I love thyme, I love the way it smells. And I think this blueberry thyme, I'm trying to get a little bit more creative with my flavors because, as you know, on the Great Baking, they are always using really interesting ingredients, and so I've got to get a little bit out of my box. I'm a pretty simple person, so this is going to be a little bit out of. Okay, I think that's a pretty good chunk of thyme. Save the rest. So I'm going to stir this. And really, we just want this to start boiling. And then once it does, I'm gonna turn it on low and let it cook for about 10-15 minutes until it really gets like really nice thick consistency. And then we'll go from there. Once this starts simmering, I'm gonna cover it. Still got a little bit to go though. It's not quite there yet. Okay, it's starting to simmer, so I'm gonna turn it on low. I'm gonna cover it, and I'm gonna let it cook for about 10 minutes. Okay, it's been 10 minutes, so now I'm gonna just let this continue to simmer uncovered, and it should really thicken up. We'll let it go about another 10 minutes. It smells delicious though, guys. I wish you could smell it. So 10 more minutes. Okay, this is taking a little bit longer, so I'm gonna let it go, but I'm gonna switch our views so we can get our cake going. Okay, so I'm gonna let the blueberry compote continue to bake down and get a little bit thicker. It's taking a little bit longer than I thought it would, so I'm gonna just continue to let that be on the stove. But I wanted to get started with the cake. So I have a 10-inch tube pan, angel food cake. The important thing that I am learning about chiffon cake is that you do not want to grease it. It needs to be ungreased, and that allows it to stick. And we'll kind of go through that later. So that's kind of a little nerve-wracking. I'm also gonna preheat the oven to 325. So I'm gonna do that now, and then we'll get started on the cake. Okay, so to get us started, we're gonna sift flour, sugar, baking powder, salt into this bowl. So it's gonna be 2 cups of cake flour, 1 cup of sugar, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, and 1 teaspoon of salt. So that's what we're gonna get going now. Okay, so here's our dry mix, and now we're going to separate our eggs. So I've got 7 eggs that I'm going to separate. Okay, now I'm gonna bring back our mixture, and I'm just gonna make a well right here. We're gonna add all of the egg yolks right in the middle. Okay. Just so you guys know, I also did turn off the blueberry compote. It had gotten where we wanted it, so I'll show you after I'm done with the cake. I'm also gonna add a half of a cup of vegetable oil to this, half a cup oil, and then we're gonna add 3/4 of a cup of cold water. My well's getting, and then a tablespoon of vanilla. Okay, now I'm gonna mix this all together. Okay, now I'm gonna set this aside and work on our egg whites, the meringue part of the cake. Okay, so we're gonna put our 7 egg whites directly in here. A half of a teaspoon of cream of tartar. And I'm gonna let that go just until it gets nice and foamy, and then we're gonna do a half a cup of sugar. Okay, I think this is probably good. Stiff peaks, they look stiff to me. So we're gonna just get this all out. And I'm gonna set this aside. I wanted to share the blueberry compote. It looks good, it smells delicious, and it's just gonna cool off now. We don't need it for a while. Okay, bringing the red cake mix back out, and I am gonna try, it feels like this is a little lumpy, which is making me nervous. So I'm gonna beat it a little bit to just try to get it nice and smooth. Yeah, just a little bit, that makes me feel better. Set this aside. Yeah, that looks really good now. Okay, now I'm gonna just take a little bit of the egg white mixture and gently fold it in, about 1/4 of it. Okay, I'm gonna put some more in. Okay, so now we're gonna get our pan. Here is our pan, and I'm just going to gently put this in. You do not, like I shared, you do not want to grease the pan, which seems so odd, but I understand it. And I'm just gonna pour this in. She is. Now I'm gonna put her in the 325-degree oven for 55 minutes, and then we're gonna test her out. Here we go. Okay, timer is done. Let's check her out. Oh, she looks beautiful. I'm gonna get a skewer and check it. Yeah, it's done. It's done. Okay, I'm gonna just let it sit like this for quite a while, and then eventually I think it will just fall. Let's hope. Okay, our cake is in the process of cooling down, so I'm gonna go ahead and start on the blueberry whipped topping. So this is gonna be easy. It's heavy whipping cream, some of that blueberry compote that we made, and powdered sugar. And I'm just gonna blend that all into my stand mixer. And then once everything is really cool and I can take the cake out of the pan, hopefully, then I'll assemble it all. Okay, here we go. The recipe is really gonna be 400 grams of heavy whipping cream, 30 grams of powdered sugar, and then 3 tablespoons of the blueberry compote, and then 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So that's what the recipe is going to be for our whipped topping. Okay, it's getting there. I'm gonna add the compote now. So 1, 2, 3. Do a little bit extra. And just blend this just a little bit more. Oh, that looks beautiful. Okay, so let's get all that out. Oh boy, guys, that's delicious. Okay, now I'm gonna try to get this out. I am gonna take a knife and just go around the edge. Okay, let's try it now. Okay. Now let's see this piece. Okay, not bad, right? So my plan is to cut it in half, put some of the compote on, put it back on, and then ice it. So let's see if I can make this look professional. Hopefully I can cut it pretty. Okay. Still a little warm too, so I'm gonna probably let it take this top off and then let it completely cool. Oh, that looks really good though. I'm gonna get another plate to put that on. I'm gonna just let these cool a little bit, and I'm gonna clean up my mess. Okay. My cake is cool. I'm trying to clean up these edges here because that's gonna impact the presentation. You know what? I might just do this real quick and clean this off. Okay, clean plate. Gonna put this down, and honestly, I'm just gonna kind of put the compote all over. Kind of keep it in the middle, so once I put it on, it doesn't like spread out. Kind of keep it in the middle like this, and make sure there's enough so that every bite will see some compote. Okay, that looks pretty good, right? Now we're gonna take put that right back on top. Does that look pretty good? Okay. Okay. It looks a little lopsided, but I'm gonna try not to get stressed out about that, because at the end of the day, it really is about how it tastes, right? I'm gonna try to leave this pretty light and fluffy. I think I have tons of whipped cream. The side is always the hardest part for me. Okay, this is not done, but I'm gonna go stick it in the refrigerator for a couple minutes just to get it to set a little bit, and then I'll finish it up. Okay, I'm gonna try to clean up the edges with like a paper towel. We'll see how successful I'm at that. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. Not perfect decor-wise, but I'm guessing it probably tastes fantastic. I'm gonna give it a taste. The compote looks really good. I kind of tore this up when I took it out, but the compote looks great. Take a little chunk here. It is super light, I can tell that easily. Really light. That's actually delicious. See you guys next time.